I don't know, there's too many. I don't fear anything. I'm not Scott Pendlebury, and then I just walked off. Hey YouTube, it is Brayden Maynard here, and I am here ready to answer all of your questions. So let's get into it. I've probably got the main question in my hands right now, and it asks, why did you decide to sign on? I think the main thing and the main reason why I did sign on at Collingwood is just because they gave me the opportunity to live out my childhood dream. And when I got drafted in 2015, it was a dream come true, and for Collingwood, probably the biggest club, if not the biggest club in the land, to draft me. I was super excited and honoured and grateful. And I guess the culture, where it's come from to where it is now, has changed a lot through my sort of 10 to 11 years of being at the club, and I've really enjoyed every second of that through the ups and downs. And to be able to ride that wave with certain individuals that have been there by my side since I got drafted, whether it's been coaches or players, I've really enjoyed it, and I think I owe a lot to Collingwood. So for me to sort of sign on anywhere else would have been, it wouldn't have felt right. So the second question here I've got is, did you ever consider leaving, and why? I mean, there are conversations that you do have going into the back end of your contract. Other clubs do approach you, but I knew deep down, and my manager knew deep down, that Collingwood was my home and was going to be my home forever. In saying that, yes, you do have sort of conversations, but yeah, I knew that deep down I wasn't going to go anywhere, because I'm such a loyal person, and I do owe a lot to the Collingwood Football Club still. And the culture and everything else that this club provides to me and my family is endless. So I didn't really ever consider leaving. All right, we got our third question here. What does Collingwood mean to you? This is actually a bit of a deep question, because Collingwood actually means literally everything to me. No matter where I went, that club was going to mean everything to me, but I seriously think Collingwood is the one club that would mean and would have meant the most to me. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity that Collingwood gave me. When I first got drafted, I got drafted with Darcy Moore and Geordie, and those two are still with me to this day. So the connections that you build with certain players that are still here at the club, but that have maybe left through my time at the club. There's a family first sort of mentality, and the connections you build with people here are just truly amazing. And Collingwood means a lot to me and my whole family, a lot. So I can't thank Collingwood enough for everything they've given to me. What's your favourite Collingwood moment? There's been so many favourite moments while I've been wearing the black and white jumper, but I literally can't go past the grand final in 2023, winning the premiership. That is literally why you play AFL and football, is to win premierships, and to be able to do that. Nearly got it done in 2018, but for us to be able to get back there in 2023 and be able to lift that cup, that was something that I'll never forget, and I can't wait to cherish all our reunions and enjoy everyone's company at our reunions going forward. And that moment there will be in my heart forever, and that feeling was so euphoric. So 2023 grand final, easily. What's your favourite thing about playing for Collingwood? I honestly think, like, being able to play on the G pretty much week in, week out in front of, I don't know, it varies from anywhere between 60 to 90,000 people every game. Our fans, they show up every week to support us, and we can't thank our fans enough. But putting on the black and white jumper at the start of the game and running up the race is something that gives me tingles every single week. You're running out with 22, 23 of your best mates, and you're being able to run out there, look up the race, and just see the grass and whether it's raining, whether it's hailing, whether it's sunny, you just know you're about to go out and do what you love, and that's what I love about it, just being able to compete in a Collingwood jumper with my best mates. It's so fun. What's been your weirdest fan interaction? It's actually funny, this pops up in my head straight away, and I think we might have been in Maroochydore doing a footy camp. This lady thought I was Pendles, and she pulled me aside. First of all, she grabbed me from the other side of the fence and she said, "Hey, Pendles, I need you to sign this 2010 Premiership jumper." And I said, "Sorry, love, I'm not Pendles." And she said, "Oh, stop being an idiot, stop being an idiot. I know you're Pendles." And I said, "Love, I'm not Pendles." And she goes, "No, sign my jumper now, Pendles. I know you're tricking me." And I said, "I swear I'm not Pendles." Anyway, she grabbed me again, pulled me close, and she said, "Sign my jumper now, Pendles." And I said, "Love, I'm not Scott Pendle." And then I just walked off. I think till this day she doesn't believe me that I was Brayden, but I was young and she didn't really know clearly who I was. How do you always have so much energy? Well, I like to be up and about, that sort of fun guy that provides a lot of energy within the group, no matter the situation. Whether the boys are down or up, I just love to provide energy within the group. I feel like it's something that I do quite often. Yeah, I think the boys love it as well. So yeah, I think it's just within me. It's in me. What's the best pre-game meeting flyers ever delivered? Oh God. There are so many. Like, I think pre-game grand final day, when he told us that he was having a baby boy and he had a baby girl named Maggie.
Today's the best day of my life because Kev and I had a little baby boy.
One of the all-time pre-game fly meetings. We've had Strawny come in, we've had the guy that sung the Scott Pendlebury song, we've had him come in and sing the song. He just gets funnier and funnier every time. I don't know how he makes it up every week. I don't know how he has so much content, but I genuinely love every pre-meeting that we have, but I think you can't go past the grand final one. That was quite funny and very special at the same time. Which retired player do you wish you could bring back? I would love to play with Alan Didak, one of my favourite players sort of all time. Clearly Bucks would be up there, but I've played with Swanee, love playing with him for a couple of years, but I would love to play with Alan Didak. He had a bit of cheek. Loved his goal in the grand final when he did that smother and then snapped it and then did the little shimmy. So yeah, I reckon I'd love to bring him back there, but there are so many players that I'd love to bring back out of retirement to play with, but yeah, Dids will definitely be up there. I get asked this question quite a lot. Why did you change your number from 37 to 4? 4 is my favourite number and always has been. So when the opportunity came, I said I have to take it, and 37 was my number, and I still feel like it is a little bit, but number 4 is my favourite number. I wore it in juniors, I wore it in TAC Cup, and I just said I can't go past wearing number 4 for the Collingwood Football Club. Like, that is seriously a dream come true. So it was a really easy decision for me to go to 4. I would never change from 37 to any other number if it did come up. It was just the fact that 4 came up, and it was a non-negotiable for me to go to number 4. I actually messaged the club as soon as I found out the news that unfortunately Brody was leaving, that I would love to take number 4. And when I took number 4, I actually called up Brody and just mentioned that I was going to be taking number 4, and that I really appreciated what he had done in the number 4. So yeah, both numbers mean a lot, but number 4 was always sort of a dream come true to play for the Collingwood Football Club in. When did you first get the nickname Bruz and why? Yeah, it sort of came from my brother and his mates back in sort of 2012, 2013, so quite a while ago. But yeah, it stuck, clearly. What are your game day superstitions? I used to be really bad with superstitions, but now I've sort of, as I've matured and gotten older, I've sort of realised that you don't really need to have any. I mean, I've got these pair of skins. I've got a couple pairs of skins that I sort of wear, I have to wear on game day. But no real superstitions. Like I like being really early. I'd rather be really early than sort of running on time or running late. Like I'll never be late anywhere. I'm always sort of half an hour to an hour early wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, and I love to do that. I don't know if that's a superstition or if it's just me liking being early. Who is your favourite NBA team and what made you support them? I'm pretty much just a LeBron fan and I follow him wherever he goes. So at the moment, it's Lakers. Who has had the biggest impact on you at Collingwood and why? I've spoken about this every time pretty much I've done an interview, but early days and still to this day, Pendles has been a massive influence and a big impact on sort of my career, on field, off field. He's helped me a lot and I can't thank him enough, and to be able to see how he goes about it, it's inspirational. So yeah, Pendles. What's your favourite goal you've kicked for the Pies? I don't know, there's too many. Nah, I don't know. I didn't mind in the wet against Gold Coast.
For Solo, back in, up against the angle, outside of the boot, handles. In fact, it's Maynard.
I don't know what I was doing up forward, but I must have drifted up there and I dropped the ball, picked it up, pissing down with rain in the pocket, and I just sort of snapped it and it went in. But kicking those 2 goals against Port in a row was pretty cool.
Brilliant defensive pressure from Schultz. The Pies take the advantage. Cameron palmed it down with intent. Little pokey kick from Rosie. Can Maynard line up and kick another one? 2 in a row for Brayden Maynard.
Which player from another team would you love at the Pies and why? I've always been a big fan of the way he goes about it, but Toby Greene is a clear standout with the way he plays, just his competitive nature, his will, and want to win and to do anything for his teammates is something that stands out compared to anyone else. So definitely Toby Greene. Your acts of desperation are consistently on display. What motivates you to give your all on game day? I just love to compete. I'm a competitor. I love to win. And I just think every contest you should act or play it out like it's your last. So I think just my want and will to win that contest, or at least half it, is something that I pride myself on. So yeah, I think I do that quite well, and I'm happy that I get the opportunities to do so. What's your biggest fear? I don't fear anything. What's the funniest thing you've ever heard on the footy field? It was from Steve Johnson when we were playing at GWS, and I cannot say it because it is probably MA heading towards R-rated. Favourite movie, TV show and song of all time? My favourite movie, I've always said, has been Taken 1. Love it, but there are so many movies. Like I love The Hangover, I love Step Brothers. TV show, Queen of the South, or Power. And then my favourite song of all time, I've got a couple. I do love my music very much, but Sexy Chick by Akon. What's the worst injury you've ever had to play through? Having plantar fasciitis has been the most frustrating sort of injury because it just lurks around in the background and you've got to stay on top of it, but you can sort of still play. And I'm sort of thankful that it's snapped, so now I can sort of move on and the pain's going away. So it's an injury that sort of doesn't really keep you out of the game for long, but it's something that lurks in the background. It's just painful. First thing in the morning when you get up, it hurts quite a lot. So having to deal with plantar fasciitis has probably been the worst I've had to deal with. Which team did you support growing up and which team did you hate? Pretty much for the majority of my upbringing, I was Carlton and then also barracked for Melbourne for a couple of years there. And which team did I hate? I didn't really hate any team. Like I loved just watching football in general, so there was no hate towards any team like there is now. What would you be doing job-wise if you weren't playing AFL? This is one where I've sort of had to figure out along the way over the last sort of 10 to 11 years of what I want to do, and I love watching young talent come through the system and put their talent on display. So recruiting is something that I'm going to really dive into in the next couple of years, and yeah, I can't wait for that. Last but not least, and probably the most important and my favourite question is, what did it mean to captain the team? To captain Collingwood was just, yeah, simply amazing. Like, I didn't think that was ever going to happen ever, but to be able to do that for just a couple games here or there was probably one of the best experiences of my life. Being able to lead the boys out, pre-game speeches, just simply amazing, and something that I'll cherish forever. Super grateful. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun. Go the Pies.